Welcome to The Ordinary Show. MasMas is back with a very interesting guest, Lorraine. Lorraine, thank you so much for taking time to be here, from your very, very busy schedule.
Well, I don't need thanks. It was great meeting you. Our initial conversation was amazing. And because I love women, it's easy to be here this morning. So thank you.
And do you remember we both connected because we both were wearing chokers, and I complimented about your choker and you complimented about mine?
Absolutely. Well, they say diamonds and bling are a girl's best friend.
I don't doubt that at all. So, Lorraine, tell me about yourself. Tell me about who you are. Tell me about your personal life, your career, the challenges you came across.
Oh, my God. There's a lot to unpackage. So I'll start with where I'm from because, I believe that we're all products of our environment. And honestly, to understand how a person thinks in their worldview, it's often important to understand where they're from. So I was raised in what I often call LA, but for those who are listening, it's Lower Alabama.
I thought for California.
Oh, absolutely not. There's the best LA is right down there in Lower Alabama. I am the product of a farm family.
Wow.
My grandfather was a sharecropper. He was actually the first African-American man in Butler County, Alabama, to own a cotton gin.
Wow.
So I grew up running through fields of cotton and corn. We mass-produced corn syrup for market from a long line of entrepreneurs and Southern Baptist ministers. So I'm also into saving souls. And I'd like to say that has honestly shaped a large part of my worldview and how I care for people.
Beautiful.
So of course, graduated from high school, went to college, did a tour of colleges, 3 degrees, law school, and a Harvard certificate later. And now I'm here in Metro Atlanta by way of DeKalb County, Georgia.
Impressive. And tell us about your current position.
Well, currently I am the CEO-elect of DeKalb County, Georgia, and I am the first African-American woman to have the title.
Beautiful.
Very excited about the opportunity. Believe it or not, I'm quite new to government. I initially ran for office. I am a perfect example that anything is possible back in 2018 and had to unseat an incumbent in order to be present today, but had no idea that my life would take a new turn because I came from corporate America.
Okay.
I didn't do government. And it has just been an amazing ride. And I am a huge advocate for people from corporate America to pursue government because most people never think about the fact that in order to be the CEO of DeKalb County, to operate a $4.8 billion budget.
Wow.
The only requirement is that I had to be at least 35 years of age, and here I barely made that requirement. I had to wait until midnight the day before qualifying. And otherwise, I had to be a 5-year resident of DeKalb County. And
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
But I encourage people who listen to think very critically because it helps you understand many of the things that you see around you in government.
Wow. And I think having a corporate background and then moving into government is amazing because there's nothing like corporate upbringing.
No, absolutely not. Because one of the things that I can say about corporate America is that you had a seat at the table because of that empirical knowledge and what you brought.
Yes.
You were called to the boardroom.
Yes.
In government, I have been excluded from the boardroom for the same reasons. So it has been an interesting journey because, I tend to think a bit differently, in the words of Steve Jobs. And having that background, a lot of
And
what
you're
I've seen
fast.
has been.
And you're fast. And
Yes.
you want to be get things done.
Yes.
Execution is the key in any corporate America.
Absolutely. Capacity. Capacity is a word that I've learned to embrace over the past several years.
Beautiful. So tell me, on this journey, what were the challenges you faced?
I would say the greatest challenge that I faced was not being a woman. So for those of you who may be listening, my greatest challenge in most environments hasn't been the fact that I was a woman, but particularly in government, the greatest challenge that I faced was groupthink. Situations where things had been done a certain way,
Yes.
simply out of habit, but not out of necessity or in the best interest of getting things done.
Yes.
Also, coming from corporate America, where I've run companies, I didn't need permission.
Yep.
I made decisions and I was able to move forward with that decision because it was the right thing to do. But in government, you have to exercise diplomacy, even with individuals who may not have the same degree of knowledge or expertise that you do. And that can be very difficult.
And change management, because corporate America thrives on change. Change is the only thing we ever knew at GE.
Yes.
Every day there was a new change and you had to just embrace it and run with it.
Yes.
So, so tell me, talk to me about your greatest achievement and what steps you took to achieve that in your life.
I would say that, in some ways I remain a work in progress for the greatest achievement, because when you tend to operate at a high level, you never think you've done enough.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So some people would say, becoming the first African-American woman to lead DeKalb County would be their greatest achievement. I don't think so, because I continue to think of the work that is yet to be done. So for me, I am cautiously aware of accomplishments. But when I think of saving taxpayers $92 million by simply instituting mandatory audit of contracts using a department that's always been there, that's an accomplishment.
That for sure is.
I was very proud of that. Also, when I think of legislation, because I am the author of the box store ordinance, and it is now utilized in 9 states and received national recognition. CBS Sunday Morning and the New York Times covered that legislation, because I stopped the proliferation of Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, and Dollar General in communities that were already underserved, because there was a wealth of data that showed that they had detrimental effects when they proliferate communities. For me, having the ability to change lives and create best outcomes would be my greatest accomplishment.
So you're the person who believes the journey is the success. You believe in the journey, not the destination, right?
Yes, absolutely. So I don't know even 5 years or 10 years from now, and I don't know what the future holds.
Yes.
Let's be
No one knows about it.
Yeah. But I'm not sure if I'll ever feel that I've accomplished enough, because I'm also a very spiritual person.
Beautiful. I love that aspect, actually.
And, when I look around me and I see, the ills of society, I feel that there's so much work to be done. So I remain a work in progress.
Beautiful. Because an artist cannot work in corporate America, because the artist thinks like an artist. And if you get a big chief operating officer and make him an artist, he'll be like, I am here to run companies. So your passion, your inner self, is the one which actually paves up your way for success.
Absolutely. And that one ingredient that women have that sometimes we overlook is discernment. Whatever that gut tells you is probably what you should be doing. And if we would follow it more, whether it be relationships or in the corporate environment, we would literally be so much further along.
Yeah, I hear you. Thank you so much for taking this time out.
Thank you for listening.
I loved hearing, your conversation and your input, your insight. It was very, very inspiring.